I gotta say, it was really refreshing to watch a movie with all white actors.
Thank God. Dude.
Yeah, finally.
Been a while.
It's been a while.
There is
Movies used to be
nary
so much better.
there's nary a Latino, a black, a gay.
There's no any ambiguous.
There's no Chinese.
And these are really white people too.
Where'd they film it? What is this called?
What
Bowling?
is this?
Oh, 3 O'Clock High. That's the movie.
This movie was shot in Ogden, Utah.
Oh, so it's a
wow.
Mormon thing?
Yeah, that did you notice the school had weird like gothic windows and like weird like steppy little like in bricks on the top of the roof lining it?
Yeah.
There's like all these like weird tall windows that are like really thin. It
Dude.
looks like the Mormon temple.
Well, they give credit to the
Interesting.
schools they filmed at the end.
Yeah, but
It was like 3 high schools.
I did feel like after I watched it that I was like a little bit more Mormon than before, but I didn't know why. So that's interesting.
A little bit more? You're pretty much full Mormon right now, though.
I know. That's what
Damn, you're
I
spilling
was
over.
really close, and yeah,
For
my
the
cup
audience
runneth over.
at home, Adam is wearing a dress and he's standing next to 12 other women that look exactly like them.
He's holding up a sheet with a
12
hole in
other
it.
confused guys.
12 other confused little boys.
That's what
You never
Mormonism is
have,
about, right?
you know, Mormons never have the polygamous gay marriages. Why is not? What's up with that?
You know what? I've got a similar question too. I've got a lot of trans friends now, but they're all
Me and William.
male to female trans.
Yeah,
It seems like men are mostly turning it, like in my circle of friends, it seems like men are transitioning into women as opposed to women transitioning into men. Or do you think the women transitioning into the men just
Come
don't
on,
talk
guys.
about it as much?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're less like
Because you know how
fucking
bitches be
blabbermouths.
gossiping.
Yeah.
You know how bitches be gossiping.
That's an interesting theory, Ryan.
Yeah, I didn't notice. I wondered why this movie was so cute that we watched and so pleasant on the eyes. And yeah, you're right. It was all white people.
everybody in this movie's white. Although actually, Buddy Revell, the main bad guy, the bully, he could be like a quarter black. That's like something I was thinking about the second time.
I was going to
The
say he
second
could be
time I
like
was
a
watching
quarter Kilmer. He had some Val Kilmer moments.
So, do you guys recognize that actor?
Is it not Val Kilmer?
Yes, he's from Kindergarten Cop. He's the dad from Kindergarten Cop. Cop who's the bad guy. The kid's dad.
I don't remember that.
10 points for Adam.
Thank you.
10 points for Gryffindor.
Hot as a pistol.
I was ready to go with that. I saw it. I got very excited. I knew immediately. But, it's also... the untrained eye wouldn't recognize it at first. In Kindergarten Cop, his hair's pulled back in a very nice ponytail. Here, he lets the beast out.
He still has long hair in that movie, though?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, let me
He's
ask
a
you
cool
this.
dad.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you
exactly.
recognize the main character, Jerry Mitchell, that actor, from anything?
He looked so familiar.
You
But
may,
no.
maybe if he wore 3D glasses, it was in the back of a 50s convertible chasing Michael J. Fox, you would recognize him.
So
Mars
he was
Attacks?
a bully in Mars Attacks, huh?
No, Back to the Future.
He was not Biff.
You thought that was a Mars Attacks reference?
No, I'm just kidding, of course.
He played one of the alien. He played the voice of one of the Martians on Mars Attacks.
So he was a bully in Back to the Future.
Yes.
Who?
Interesting. Because my thing with this movie is really good. And
Yeah, I mean, it was cute.
It's like really unique though. It's like directed really
Yes.
intent, like impression. It's like it's very like in his point of view, in his like psyche and shit. Like
Who
you're
did
experiencing
direct it?
his anxiety and stuff like that. It's really well directed.
Yeah, give us
Yeah,
the
the
deets,
fucking
William.
guy.
So this movie's 3 O'Clock High, 1987, directed by Phil Joanou. He made a short film at USC, and 4 days later, after the screening, Steven Spielberg called him and was like, "Hey, I'm Steven Spielberg. Let's talk, you know?" And so he directed 2 episodes of Amazing Stories, that TV show that Spielberg had in the 80s. And then this was his first movie. It's executive produced by Spielberg. yeah, so he was like really young and really hungry. And then the director of photography, who is credited as lighting consultant because he wasn't in the union, is Barry Sonnenfeld, the DP who shot Blood Simple and Raising Arizona. So, who then later on directed Addams Family, Men in Black. So that DP, I mean, the whole camera crew in this movie is working overtime. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, the amount of dolly tracks and like, that's like the real joy of this movie is you're just watching like this countdown to 3:00 when there's a big fight going to happen, and you're just every shot, every scene, every moment is like carefully directed. Were you just quoting Eminem? Every shot, every opportunity, every moment.
That's how Eminem wrote that lyric. He was talking about this movie.
Was watching this movie.
Yeah.
Also, I want to say I'm not actually anti-woke or politically incorrect. I was just quoting Eminem earlier when I said it was refreshing. This movie had a lot of white people.
Oh my God, that's one of my favorite. That's when he did that MGK diss track. He says that.
So the director said,
listening to your music is about not as entertaining as watching an all-white cat. I don't know. I'll write it.
Damn.
Headshot. Yeah. If you want to hear a great diss track, check out Eminem Headshot, where he just kills Machine Gun Kelly. It's technically bullying. It's technically bullying.
Well, MGK started it.
That would suck to get bullied.
So MGK was the bully,
just destroyed.
That came into town.
Eminem is the good kid.
Eminem was the good kid, and he's like, I don't want this beef. I don't need this.
Oh, wait, Machine Gun Kelly started it?
And then he got his confidence, and then, Machine Gun started it with the one
Did
song.
Did you even listen to the diss track?
No, it's like you're not even paying attention to Eminem's life
recently?
day to day.
Did that happen recently?
Yeah, like 7 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a big deal. So this movie, the director said his big inspiration was After Hours. Like, you would think it'd be High Noon because the whole movie is basically the structure of High Noon, of like the big like gun duel at High Noon. But his main influence was After Hours. He watched that Scorsese movie over and over and over again, like hundreds of times on video. And that movie is like about a guy lost in New York. It's very intense. It's very like anxiety riddled. And, you know, this movie has a similar flavor. But one thing that's refreshing about this movie is around this time, The Breakfast Club came out, and everything after The Breakfast Club, they would push every character into these like super strict archetypes of like nerd, jock, you know, fashion girl. And this movie does have that, but it's not like fashion girl, ball girl. Like
that's a type
Molly
of girl.
Ringwald.
No, I know, I mean, but
the girl, the girl in his like
preppy.
The girl that he drives to school, like his friend.
It's not really preppy.
She's
though.
the weird
like
one.
The nerds are dressed really preppily in this movie.
Yeah, yes. I was in love with that.
More fashion girl.
I had a crush on that girl, his friend, the weird goth one. She loves the Crow. You know she loves the Crow.
Yeah.
What about the hot girl?
I want to bond with you tonight. No, she was like, weird, dude. All the quote unquote hot girls were weird.
Yes.
She was fine as hell.
Yeah, but how she talked at the store?
She talked in a sophisticated manner.
No, she talked like she was halfway out of breath and stupid. She sounded stupid.
That's hot.
Yeah, stupid is hot.
Well, her two friends are not hot.
The two ladies who were constantly right over her each shoulder.
Yeah. Well, that's why. So so that means she's also not that hot. She's just always around too uglier. It's
it shows that she's
association.
It shows that she is not ultimately not cool. It's a subtle.
Well, yeah.
Thing about
the teacher, the teacher. Okay, well, there's.
I don't want to spoil this movie. Some of this incredible moments in this movie.
Why not?
Should we just? Okay, I shouldn't worry about it.
What were you going to say? Like she's actually a nerd?
1982.
He gets each girl. He doesn't like the movie doesn't have him like choose the goth girl over the hot girl. It has him like have that moment where he's like, oh shit, I have both of these.
And he also
his teacher comes in, and that's the best scene in the movie. The first
Both of them.
He has to like he basically so the movie he's trying to get out of he's trying all these different ways to get out of the fight, and one of the ways that he tries when he feels like he's like none of the stuff is working, he has to do something really, really major, is he's like, oh, I'm gonna try to get detention. So he gets detention by delivering like
smoking a cigarette in class, wearing sunglasses, giving a bad book report.
No, he doesn't give a bad book report. He does like a fucking amazing monologue, and then like like seduces the entire class and his teacher, and then they kiss in front of the class.
Yes, which is a sex crime. And everybody's like, holy fuck. That's a sex crime, and everybody's like pumped about it.
Yeah, well, he's turned on every single person in the room. That's what
this movie has a lot of like silent film energy. It has like
Harold Lloyd.
The poster's definitely a reference to Harold Lloyd with him on the clock. But
I was also thinking that one shot where there's another thing.
Hold on, I'm making a point. So the movie is like, there isn't this whole moralizing thing happening in every scene. It's like setting up it's setting up actions, and then it's like the jokes are just like, well, if the teacher finds him kind of attractive, then we just like crank that up like 10 times and then the scene's over. And then like,
this movie pushes like
and it doesn't
things to a really fun
pushes political boundaries. It pushes sexual tension.
It pushes the story as far as it can kind of conceivably go. Like his friend puts in a knife in the bully's locker, and then they kind of realize it's a bad idea, and they try to get it out, but then they can't get it out, and then the bell rings and everybody starts walking up, and they're like, fuck. It's like this movie introduces like a knife. It's like a John Hughes movie.
His friend is a badass too. I wish I had a friend like that. That's a ride or die friend. That nerd ass dude.
Yeah.
He was trying harder to get him out of the fight than himself. Like, that dude's ride or die. What was his name? Sebastian.
They really like pushed the stakes of the movie well, I thought, and like made it feel like he was really gonna like, he should be scared.
Yeah, the dude who's gonna beat the shit out of him, the guy from Kindergarten Cop,
and he just
like
keeps making it worse.
Than him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The guy his bully was a 40-year-old man.
He's the best. He also gives the best performance in the movie. The bully.
I would agree.
Yeah, he's intense.
I thought the lead was pretty good too. He played a good little. The lead, Tom Holland. Total Tom Holland vibes coming from the guy that's trying to get out of the fight.
Yeah,
totally.
This movie has a lot of influence. I feel like Donnie Darko took their school entrance shot from this movie, because this movie has like an even more complicated school entrance shot where you see the girl from The Simpsons who does Lisa's voice, Yeardley Smith. Then you see her talking, then the steady cam moves to another group talking, moves to another group. Then they even do the speed up thing, like Donnie Darko, over to like another group by outside the front door. So then they go back. Then they go in. Well, he's getting it from other things too, but it's like, it is like as almost as complicated as Goodfellas in some ways. I mean, it's a comedy. Now, the thing is with comedies, when they make them this complicated, they usually completely fall apart. It's like a really fine line. It's really challenging.
It's kind of like a suspense movie, though. It's like a comedy suspense. Timing. And it really is a suspenseful movie.
Well, yeah, when he the first scene, so this is how the bullying starts, right? I was kind of paying attention, or I was doing laundry, but he did, the bully comes, what's the bully's name?
He gets assigned to write an article about Buddy.
Jesse.
Because he's the new kid at the school.
DeVal.
So they're in that scene when they're in the bathroom, and he just pushes him up against the urinal and flushes the
Buddy
toilet, so it looks like he pissed himself. That is such a good prank I've never seen.
Yeah, he like smashes him into the window.
Scary. Yeah, he like breaks the mirror with his head.
Yeah, the movie makes it really because it's this like it also is cool because it's like a John Hughes movie where he's not, but it's like shot like this. No John Hughes movie is shot like that in this like really intense kind of subjective
maybe is Ferris Bueller the same year? I think that's 87. That movie is extremely well shot.
No, it's all
I'd
good.
say-
It's all well shot, but it's like less subjective, less like over the top. This is the kind of movie where like every character in the background, their head turns at the same time, and everyone's kind of it's like overly shot and directed, but in a way that makes it surreal and stuff like that. Kind of I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's like it's not a naturalistic movie, even though it has like these really good like one or talking scenes that are good.
It's super fantastical.
Yeah, it's like a Kids in the Hall.
Once they get to the fight.
Yeah, it's like a Kids in the Hall sort of like video sketch.
The other thing it reminded me of was PCU. Did you ever see that?
Is that like that too, where it's like,
well, the kid gets in trouble. This freshman kid gets in trouble. Like he'll go into a computer lab because he's being chased by another group, and then he like unplugs everybody's computer, and then all their theses or whatever they're writing, they all get erased, and then everybody in the room like turns their head at the same time and like starts chasing him. Yeah, and it just kind of gets more and more ridiculous. Like it's a lot like Edgar Wright. This feels like an Edgar Wright movie that he didn't direct. But the thing is, another movie at the same time that's almost exactly like this is Raising Arizona. And it's interesting that the director of photography is the same on both those movies, Barry Sonnenfeld, and he ended up having a bigger career than the director of 3 O'Clock High, which is pretty insane. Like he direct Men in Black.
Who do you think does those shots though? So like opening scene in this movie, the longest fucking opening monologue, getting ready for school monologue or montage I've seen.
The director does it.
So the scene though, when he's just zoning out, just like staring as his alarm's going off, like how the whole movie opens, and then it does that, like tilts. the camera tracks with his head.
Like the clock. Like the clock.
It turns to like the side, from overhead down to like the side of the bed, but like keeping in line with his face. Yeah,
that's like some John Wick shit or like Upgrade or like there was a lot of like director options that were just so fucking artsy and they seemed better than the movie. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean. Because the movie's kind of like weird, like cliche.
It was kind of like when we were talking, when we watched The Straight Story, it was kind of like that, where it's like you have an amazing director with kind of a pretty simple storyline.
Yeah, simple for sure.
I was like, God damn, it would suck me in with those amazing, like artsy shots. And then it's a movie about a bully.
But the movie is
crazy. Hold on. Let me tell you something crazy. Okay. The director said he didn't storyboard a single frame of this movie.
Shut the fuck up. That's crazy.
He only wrote a shot list.
That's crazy with a capital.
I know, Ryan.
I know.
Dude. I know.
Say that again. I'm sinking in. It's still.
He didn't storyboard one shot in this movie.
This guy's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
No, he wrote the shot list and it was in his head the whole time. And then him and the DP are so smart.
Picture. Yeah, the storyboard is just one piece of paper.
They literally DP'd the camera together. They were DPing the camera.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
That's cool. I like that.
You want the viewfinder or you want the lens?
They're both looking.
I'll take the tripod.
Yeah, there's a lot of really inventive shit in this movie.
Legs closed until it's inside of me.
Adam was telling us in the text thread that he found the sister very attractive, and he would. There's some. She had pull.
No, I didn't.
She grew up to be somebody.
To be honest, I felt like I hated the sister, of course.
Is she an adult? Is she an adult actor now?
Like so dorky looking.
She's like a Sarah Jessica Parker type. She's like drinking Diet Coke the whole time, and
it was awesome though. At the end of the movie, like the bully, like the kid, or the nerd is like, "Oh, fuck this! I'm gonna do it." Actually, at the end, and like finds his courage.
Well, the bully called him a pussy. He's like, "You're such a pussy, and you didn't even try."
How do you live with yourself or whatever?
Yeah.
And then so he gets all pumped up, and then it shows the bully just getting brass knuckles, which I thought was just a funny. Like this
I should be wearing murdered, I got basically. Some brass knuckles. Yeah, you don't just punch somebody with. My old roommate who got jumped, Kat, got hit in the face. She got sucker punched from behind with a brass knuckles, and it not only shattered her glasses, it shattered her eye socket, and she had to have her. And it was one punch, and she had to have her eyes sewn shut for like 2 months.
Did they find the guy?
And now her eyes like permanently fucked up.
Damn, that's really fucked up.
Yeah, they found all 3 of them.
Must have
Some
been a
gang shit.
special. Must have been a special occasion.
It was a gang initiation.
In
Some
Austin.
some broad was she was walking to the local HEB, local grocery store. She saw a van and she saw some like little Mexican lady, young, early 20s, whatever, get out of the van and just look. Absolutely something was going on. Like her face.
He's pumped.
And then
he's pumped up.
and then she was like, just looked, whatever. Something was up. And then two guys jumped out behind her, or like got out of the panel van behind her. And so my roommate at the time, Kat, she was like, oh, these guys just fucking raped this girl in the van. That's what she's thinking. So she goes towards him and is like, hey, girl, are you okay? Like, are you okay? Do I need to call anybody? And then right when she said that, the lady pulled a knife out and tried to stab her in the chest and cut off a chunk of her pinky. And then the two guys went around behind her and they were just like chanting, like,
what?
Yeah, it was a fight. Like they,
Chanting? Like fight.
Yeah, they were like, get her. Yeah, they
That's
were just
insane.
like. But then my roommate started dragging her into the street, and she's a big true crime documentary person, and she actually utilized like everything.
Oh, really? From
she
true
beat
crime
the fuck out of
podcasts?
her. She beat the fuck out of her as well she could with her purse, and then the guys had to step in, and the guy popped her in the face, broke her eye, and she fell on the ground. And they were trying to pull her. They're trying to pull her clothes off, and she was like, it didn't seem like they were trying to sexually assault her. They were just trying to humiliate her.
Right. But think about how great it was for them because they finally got to join the gang.
They were having the time of their life.
They broke in. This was their initiation.
Then they got arrested about
That's
6
wrong.
months later. They randomly got arrested because they were stealing tires off of a car. And so somebody called cops on that. And when they found them, there was like 7 AK-47s in the back of their trunk. And there was just a shit ton of handguns.
Not illegal.
Or 7 guns.
Not illegal. Totally legal.
Oh, they all were illegal. It was all illegal. And one of the guys was actually illegal.
Oh my God. Thank God we got him out.
Here we go.
Gang.
That's why we got to build a wall, people. We got to keep the white kids. We got to keep the white kids protected in their high schools from
This is what I'm saying. Build walls around high schools. There you go.
This Buddy Revell, this is his first day at school. He's a transfer student.
Yeah, let's get back to our movie podcast, Ryan.
He's an immigrant.
Trying to tell us this incredibly traumatic story.
I was just waiting for him to shut up so I could say my joke.
I'm saying, that was worth it, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it was good.
I should have just interrupted you when it was.
It's movies.
The timing was right.
I'm not even done with the story yet. So, but anyway,
this is kind of a crazy story, by the way. I feel like
I'm saying Brass Knuckles it's public. Yeah, she's talked about it on Comedy Central.
I heard.
Oh shit!
That morning when she woke up, she said, "I knew it was just going to be one of those days."
Yeah, she said that.
Yeah,
she literally said
the movie.
And then she had
part of that.
Tie it back into the movie.
Then she had to get ready, and so she did really wacky things like microwave her wet clothes and then put her Pop-Tart in there.
It's also
weird.
That was so gross when he.
And then her sister walked in.
He's a sloppy guy. He kind of deserved. Like he switched fucking Diet Coke on the way there. This guy deserves to be bullied. He should be getting his ass kicked for that.
He was asking for it. Also, their parents are just out of town. Why is he even going to school?
I just want to say Adam right now is in a shed with no lights on, and there's bags of garbage strung around behind him.
It's not garbage.
He literally looks
Why would
like
we hang out bags of garbage?
If you remember in Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
in a garbage bag. You understand?
In Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there's a scene where Leatherface is in his bedroom crying, and he's just surrounded by like bones and like hanging gourds and like chicken feathers, and he's just like so sad. Adam has, that's an amazing scene. That's one of the best scenes in the movie. Now,
in the Jessica Biel one, you're saying?
No, in the original, Toby Hooper, 5 years.
The best one is the Jessica Biel one
because Arlie Ermey's in it. He's pretty tight.
That's true. Jessica Biel is pretty
smoking. Talk about it.
Yeah. Aye.
Level 10 babe. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'd like to initiate a gang with her. You know what I'm saying?
Let's try to reset how we're talking about women on this show. We've been like,
I'd like to
hearing a very
jump her with 2 other gang
story.
members, and I'd like to break her eye socket. You know what I'm saying?
I'm thinking about her, the teacher, the little sister. I'm thinking about what am I going to do tomorrow night? You know, all the chicks
Dude.
want to bang me.
I want to wear that little sister's outfit, honestly.
Let me ask you this.
I thought you were gonna
That's
end that sentence as I want to wear that little sister.
There's the truth.
Come on.
Describe the little sister's outfit, Adam.
She's basically dressed like Kanye.
What?
A sweater.
Like, you know, when Kanye was in his, like, when he first came out, like College Dropout,
He was
and he was
preppy.
wearing, like, preppy stuff, but it's like overly preppy stuff.
You're
Like the
saying
kind that
he
your
dressed-
parents dress you in. You
he
know,
dressed
like you
like
should
a-
be embarrassed.
Like a 15-year-old Jew
Even in the
who lives in LA. Like if you go to the Galleria Mall, the Beverly Center,
yeah,
and you see like a 14-year-old girl, that's like Kanye's outfit.
it's normcore.
Yes,
Normcore.
It's normcore, but it's all very nice and it's all very organized.
Like Gap? Like the Gap?
It's pretty
Yes.
sharp. I mean, I feel like a lot of these specific nerds' problems were just wearing
Letting
Cool
their
clothes.
parents
clothes
dress
they
them.
wore.
What did you wear growing up?
Jinkos. Like the coolest kids.
No, for
Jinkos
real.
with toe shoes?
What did Adam
Cargo
really wear?
shorts and like t-shirts.
Classic.
What I wear now.
I had bleach tipped spiked hair.
What
and
was the
puka shell
most
necklaces.
Embarrassing
White
T-shirt
K-Swiss.
you owned as a kid that you would wear way too much?
I had a FUBU. I had a bunch of
first.
FUBU.
You first.
I had an Austin Powers shirt from like
That's awesome. That's
my
not
mom got
embarrassing. That's
me.
cool.
that I would just like
It's
wear
like-
like as like a regular rotation. Like, I'm just wearing my Austin Powers shirt. I don't care.
AP.
I'm out of clothes. I don't care.
I would wear like embarrassing band shirts of bands that I'm embarrassed about. Kind of.
What?
I feel like
Lincoln Park.
I don't remember wearing it. I don't remember this being in like a regular rotation, but I feel like there was a day maybe where I wore like a Dashboard Confessional shirt.
Oh wow.
I think I had one because I saw them live once.
Yeah, you see them a lot. I don't know.
I should have got bullied. Did
a
you
lot
guys
of
get bullied in
hormones.
school?
Yes.
I got bullied in middle school.
You fucking nerd. You got bullied?
I know.
I don't believe it. I don't believe Adam's ever been bullied.
Thanks, man.
But he's not a bully. He's like people are fucking with him and he like defends himself. He's not like
He's
taunting
like autistic,
them,
right?
but he's not like
Who?
just railing on people. Buddy Revell in the movie
Oh,
3
Buddy
o'clock.
Revell.
Yeah,
High.
see, is a bull.
The bully, yeah.
The whole catalyst of the fight is him being a bully. The kid just got asked to do a project for it. Like,
But that's different. You know what I mean? He's not like taunting
He
anyone. He's
touches
not
him. That's why.
he's
That's
not-
why
yeah,
he
he
freaks
touched
out.
him. He has touched
talking,
thing.
but
This kid is
I saw the movie, guys.
troubled.
Don't worry.
This
I
kid-
know
he's-
he doesn't like to be touched, and he says, "Let's fight at 3 o'clock." But you know what I mean? He doesn't have the bully behavior.
He's not making a good first impression at the school.
He's not going out of his way to bully.
Like this
the
was
bullying-
his chance to start over.
It's like
Plus,
his,
this guy-
his victims are coming to him.
He should have
guy
worn a nice
Jimmy-
little sweater.
Hold on. This guy Jimmy put a knife in his locker, and then they were going to call the principal and have him get busted with
That's
a
when
fucking
things
knife,
go. Yeah,
a
that's when they fucked
switchblade.
up
Like
big
that's a
time.
serious crime. And then like
Which is
he's
good. It
gonna
kind
write
of
a fucking-
justifies the bully, the antagonist.
yes,
You know, so it's like
Well, he's got a
it's just so
nasty
good at like
shirt.
upping the stakes.
and then later on, there's a scene where the bully looks at what's his fucking name? Jerry. He looks at Jerry's math test and he's like,
Oh, yeah.
come on. And then
Yeah, what was
he
that
slides,
about?
Then he slides it over. Then they get in trouble for cheating in math. And then they
Interesting.
say like, actually, I was cheating off Buddy's paper. And then the principal's like, fine, Buddy, if you can do if you can do these
Prove
math
it.
problems.
No, Buddy
And it-
says that he takes the bullet or whatever.
And then he does it.
Just FYI.
He does the math problems. So he knew math the whole time. Then why was he
Because he's
asking
fucking
for the
with
paper?
people.
He's like a
Because
Joker
he
kind of
is
person.
a bully. That's what it's called, gaslighting.
He's a Joker.
And it's like he needs power. He's obviously was molested as a kid because he doesn't like the touching.
Mm.
He was probably molested as a kid. He was probably beat as a kid. His shirt is disgusting. There's like a nasty brown sweat stain on his collar. His leather jacket was half torn out. He was poor. He was like a classic poor trailer park
He
bully. So I'm
drives
guessing
a
his dad abused him growing up.
road
So he just
warrior
abuses people.
style vehicle. He basically
Yeah.
drives Mad Max's car.
Exactly. He's like
That's
a
cool.
typical bully, like a cartoon bully.
He had
All
his
his
chance
problems
to
start
But
at
he can
home.
do
himself.
math, Ryan. He can do math.
He's not an
problems.
idiot.
Oh, he's like a Goodwill Hunting kind of guy.
Exactly.
No, he just like is normally
And
smart.
what
It's also
happened to
high
Goodwill
school
Hunting?
math.
He got beat. He got in a fight.
He was molested as a child
Oh,
or abused or something.
he was abused. I think. I don't think they were going to be like, hey, Matt Damon. I got molested. You know,
Why not?
in their
Matt
cool Boston guy
Damon.
movie.
Molested Damon.
I think, hey, Ben, I ain't fucking molested.
It's not your
Change
fault.
the fucking script.
It's not your fault.
Change the script. I'm not. No one sucked this cock except you, baby.
How about them apples was actually a flashback scene from when his uncle was showing him his balls as a kid. And they had to rewrite it to the most famous line in the movie.
Yeah.
How about them
They
apples?
wrote in the scene that he had balls that were
His uncle
like
goes,
apples.
Yeah, his uncle's like, "Do you like apples, little one?" He's like,
And then
"Yeah."
he shows
talk
him his
about
apple-sized
zzz,
balls.
His one is one apple size, and the other one's normal.
You want to talk about normcore? Goodwill Hunting. That's a fucking normcore movie. They're
Sure.
all gapped out. They're just gapping it up.
One day
Yeah,
I just
totally.
freaking wish that I freaking won't see you when you freaking come to the freaking car and hella, dude, and you're coming to the freaking car, and I'm like, I hope he's gone, frick, dude. I'm Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Movie kind of boring, to
Congratulations.
be honest.
Congratulations
Whoa.
on your wedding, Mr. Affleck. We're big fans. Please go on the pod.
Me and freaking J-Lo, freaking
You're the
Gone
man,
Girl.
Ben.
Thanks, baby. I'm the Batman.
Dude, what about that one scene in this movie where he hires a bully or he hires
the quarterback, right?
quarterback
or the
or
big guy.
jock guy to protect him or to fight to beat up the bully.
$400.
He robs his own
$450.
student store to get the money, trashes it in the process, and then he gives the money to the guy, and the guy goes into the library to beat the shit out of Buddy Revell, and he taps Buddy, and then Buddy gives him one big punch to the head.
No, he pokes him like an idiot. He like walks up to him and is like, "Hey, buddy,
Hey.
I'm gonna beat you up." And then he pokes him in the chest, and then of course the bully will grab his finger and like snap it.
Breaks it off.
Completely fucked up.
He breaks his
He
fingers
gets real
off like
violent
Kit
when he gets
Kats.
touched.
And
You
then he
see it in
gets
his
punched in the
eyes.
face. And then there's this amazing shot where he falls into like a bookshelf, and then it topples it topples like a
It does
whole
a
row of
horseshoe,
bookshelves.
yeah, like
Then
a
it hits
horseshoe
a
then
shape.
and then it ends.
It hits a
it-
knight, and then
and-
the knight
and it-
spins, and then it hits the perpendicular
Other bookshelf,
row.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
bookshelves.
yeah.
real
They're really
dominoes.
going over the top.
That would have
but
been
like-
such a pain in the ass to film.
But then it falls and it reveals the nerd and his friend watching, and it's like an amazing. It's a
You kinda-
perfect
that-
like shot, kind of.
You
And
got to
it's
do that one take, right?
That's what made me think of Harold Lloyd too.
Two
It's like a
takes,
Harold
buddy.
Lloyd
The
sort of
first,
thing.
the first take, the night part failed, so only half the books came down. So then they had to reset all the books in 2 hours. They needed
They
everybody.
got it
on
in
the,
two though.
Nice work, William.
They needed everybody on the crew to do that.
That's some nice trivia.
Yeah,
It's
good
a great
trivia.
trip. Thank you.
I feel like I didn't do a good segue out of that
You're doing it right now.
thing that we were talking about.
Do the good segue. We'll wait.
Do the good. Do the bad one. Do the bad segue.
I can't remember. Well, I can't remember what we were talking about, but
Harold Lloyd,
no. I mean before the whole
the
thing.
night.
No.
bookshelf.
Before I started talking about the movie
It
again.
reveals them at the end because they were hiding behind the bookshelf.
It's after what William was saying.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. I can go back to my Ben Affleck
wedding?
impression.
Yeah, I think it was Ben
heck,
Affleck. Yeah. We love you, Ben.
I'm from Boston.
That's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say we love you, Ben. So back to the movie.
Love you, Ben.
Some good
100
cast in
years
this
in the
movie.
entertainment business. Love you, Ben.
Some good casting in the minor roles. We got Jeffrey Tambor
JT.
as the guy who runs the student store. What is he? The principal, the
teachers.
owner.
He is so
Something.
good at acting.
Yeah, he's just a good actor. But I feel like he feels like he's frustrated with the movie.
Well,
Sometimes the movie,
yeah.
the main kid's performance in this movie is it's good. Well, like his best scene is the scene where he's cool. in his book report. He fucking like
that's pretty
seduces
good.
everyone and makes out with the teacher.
Well, because he's supposed to be kind of squirmy and
smoldering,
nervous and scared, like a
but
dork.
But think
like
about if like this movie
student council
had
type dork.
Needs more extremes. Nicolas Cage.
or like
As
instead
the
of
bully, Nick
like,
as the bully,
or like an actual nerd instead of like a guy who's like normal and is wearing a sweater.
Ralph
Like
Macchio.
Michael Cera. Yeah, or Ralph Macchio is a good one. Yeah. I mean, he's just
that's what they would do
Italian. He's
now.
not a
They would
nerd.
make a nerd. They would make the nerd way more nerdy now. He'd be a fucking, I'm a Napoleon Dynamite, Poindexter idiot. Oh.
knock it off.
You know, and then the bully would be like Jack Black with like a mullet. And
I just mean somebody who more feels
on
like
a motorcycle riding through the high school. And like the hot teacher would be like, you know, she'd have giant boobs, just huge, long banana tits.
It'd be Stifler's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be American Pie.
And he'd like, you know, and then like at the end when he has like 3 girls to choose between, he'd get like slapped. Yeah. Freeze frame. But
not enough movies end with that way.
It's weird because he keeps, while it gets very over the top, it also gets very subtle and gets very quiet in these like key moments. So it never gets too exhausting. But there's a lot of good actors in it.
It's
like,
great.
yeah, Jeffrey Tambor's in it. Mitch Pileggi's in it from X-Files. He was like their boss. Then Philip Baker Hall is in it from all the Paul Thomas Anderson movies. He plays like he's like the detective.
Oh yeah, he looks so familiar.
What do you think of the Duker? I noticed you bring that up.
Mitch Pileggi, he's awesome. He later played Shocker, and then he's just a cool bald actor. But
special class of actor.
There's another great actor, John Ryan. I guess he's the principal. He's the guy with like, he's kind of balding and he has curly hair, and he has he was in Class of 1999. He was like
just as school movies.
Well, he's in a ton of movies. He's in like everything, or he's in a lot of stuff. And I heard, well, here's some trivia about him. When he made Delta Force 2 with Chuck Norris, they shot in Hong Kong, and he was in a helicopter crash.
I thought that was the Larry the Cable Guy movie, Delta Force
2.
What's the difference?
This is what Larry the Cable Guy was making fun of.
I thought Larry the Cable Guys was the first one, and then Delta Force 2 was the serious one.
It's a pretty ripe target.
You have Airport, and then you have
satire.
Airplane, but no one remembers Airport. People remember the comedies like Spaceballs.
You know,
they don't know. No one even watches Star Wars. They watch
the only thing that. The only thing you should be, if you're talking about planes, the only thing you should always never forget is 9/11. That was crazy, dude.
Well, worse than 9/11.
They had to change the Spider-Man posters.
John Ryan.
That's so fucked up.
He was in a helicopter crash where he broke every bone in his entire body and was never the same. He was never the same.
It was his 9/11.
Yeah.
No, that was his. Dude. How many bones are in your body? Like 380 something. It was his 382.
Imagine if you broke your arms, your arms and legs, and all your ribs.
What about Tower 7, Ryan?
What about it?
You're not accounting for Tower 7?
Nah, I forgot about that one.
Oh yeah,
they just say never forget 9/11, but a lot of shit happened.
They just showed the 2 on the never forget stickers. Can't think about Tower 7 or the Pentagon or
It's all fake, dude. It's all inside job, dude. It's all fucking inside Steve Jobs, dude. It's
never forget that 9/11 is a hoax.
Well, here's the thing with 9/11, and then this will be a quick tangent, and then we can get back to it. But
sorry to tangent to 9/11.
Yeah, so this is a quick 9/11 tangent. Here's what it really was. It's all politics, right? But not what you're thinking. It's all advertising, politics. The Alamo was always don't forget the Alamo, don't forget the Alamo, and the Twin Towers
remember the Alamo.
They needed, remember the Alamo. Don't forget the Alamo.
I don't think you remember.
So there was like a PR feud going on between the trade centers and the Alamo. And
was there?
Yes, there was a huge PR campaign a war going on between those two. And this is how they won. This is how 9/11 won, or the trade centers won. They
What about-
did
actually-
9/11 to themselves for PR.
There's actually a
Now
feud
they're
between,
never forget. Nobody's talking about don't remember the Alamo. See, I didn't even remember what the Alamo's slogan was.
I knew a guy from Oklahoma City, and he told me
Interesting.
that people in Oklahoma City were kind of jealous of New York after 9/11 because they were like, well, what about us? We had the
We had
biggest,
that
we used to
bombing.
have,
Yeah.
we used to have the number one terrorist attack, and now we're number two, and we're forgotten. That's it. It's over.
Because
That's
they
life, you know?
PR, they did not
Stuff.
brand their mass explosion well.
Doesn't have a nice number.
It doesn't have a never forget. It doesn't have a
It doesn't have the
So if there's any
iconography
if there's any
of the two
terrorists
towers.
listening right now, if there's any terrorists out there listening right now, focus on the PR. Oh,
It's sound advice, I think.
You think
the
Timothy
terrorists.
McVeigh liked 3 O'Clock High?
he changed his name
Oh, yeah.
because it's a cooler sounding name. PR. He knew his PR, man.
Oh, he did change his name?
John Wayne Gacy. That dude's name was Rick Schlitters Gacy.
Damn.
Nobody
Wow.
remember that clown.
That's a terrible name.
Dick Schlitters.
Rick Schroeder's.
Rick Schlitz.
Rick
Dick Schlitt.
Dick Schlitz. Dude, that's a
Dick Schlitt. So he changed it to John Wayne. He was just a big cowboy fan.
Oh yeah, changing
That
your
was
name to
probably-
John Wayne
John
is
Wayne
quite
Gacy's. I was reading a documentary
audacious.
or reading a book about
Reading.
John Wayne Gacy. I was reading a documentary's script, and this is a fun fact.
For
John Wayne
9/11
Gacy-
because it was
John
fake.
Wayne
There was the
Gacy's
documentary
favorite-
9/11.
Favorite
yeah.
thing,
Script
his
was
fa-
written by
Yeah.
President Barack Obama.
President
Ryan has his
Hussein
hands on the
Barack
script.
Obama.
An original draft.
He tricked George. That's why he became president after George W. Bush, because he wrote the
Mhm.
script in 9/11. It was like, oh, I'm gonna.
He wrote himself into this.
Well, and
movie at
everybody
the end.
wanted the
I'm
sequel.
gonna write
Everybody
myself
wanted
into the hero.
Nothing. He didn't. And his sequel was Drone Striking Syria, and no people weren't as pumped about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But yeah,
John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy's favorite thing to do in life was watch John Wayne movies.
It makes me think he's kind of like
Was it his favorite thing to do?
Can you guess
Ryan?
Can you guess what his second favorite thing was?
Raping and killing teenage
No,
boys.
carpentry. That was his third favorite thing. He loved carpentry, and that's why he needed a reason to take his floorboards up and off. And he's like, I'll look crazy if I just keep redoing my floor because I love doing floor plans. So he's like, well, if I had something to bury under this floor, then my neighbors wouldn't think I'm weird for constantly doing carpentry on my floor. So he started raping and killing kids. Sure, whatever you got to do, ends meet, whatever.
Oh,
Just a
you
fun-
read that.
just
You
some-
read that.
just some
That
John Wayne
screenplay was
Gacy.
also written by Barack Obama. Because
Mhm.
John Wayne Gacy, he's not from Chicago, I don't think, but he's like from Wisconsin. So he's
Well,
like
he's from
Obama was
from
around in that
Hawaii,
area.
quote unquote. This dude's not a legal citizen. John Wayne Gacy. Mm-mm.
I like to see John Wayne Gacy's birth certificate.
Never forget. And he's like, no. And then they finally they raid his cabin or whatever, and it's Dick Schlitz. Dick Schlitz. That's why he didn't want him to see his passport.
Dick Hussein Schlitz.
Dick Insane Schlitz.
Dick Schlitters
Hussein Insane.
Gacy.
Yeah.
Gacy.
They have a lot of.
Yeah,
they say
totally.
they call a lot of.
Oh,
They say
Gacy.
fag a lot in this movie. They're like, "What are you, a fag?"
oh, because he's always like,
Like,
hey, I want to
2
talk
or
to you
3
over
times.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just
He was
approaching another guy
Very 80s.
in the 80s.
Yeah,
They would say that.
Guys don't.
This is
talk
like a
to each other.
PG movie, basically. And it's like,
That used to
hey,
be the one word that they
get
let
away
in.
from me, fag.
Yeah.
It's like
And just little kids sitting there watching the movie.
laughing, having fun.
Yeah.
One of them sad. Just one out of the group.
1
Yeah,
out of
and
10.
they're a little confused why they're sad still, but okay. Adam
It was
is
good times.
completely.
Good times at
Adam's
the movies.
camera has completely gone black. The only thing that has any light on it is the bag of trash hanging on the wall.
I'm actually going to turn my video off because I'm running out of battery.
Not very responsible.
I know. Hey,
This is-
I'm a new dad.
No, you're
Are
not.
you?
It's been like a year, dude.
It still feels new.
Every
Still
day.
learning.
It's never.
What's
day.
the
good.
hardest part about being a new dad, Adam? It's the sitcom, New Dad, pilot episode. What's the big issue?
I mean, it's just a marathon that never ends.
You wouldn't say
Where
bullying?
you can never
Like
quite
what?
get enough sleep. There's never quite enough time in the
You're
day.
worried about your kid getting
Take
bullied
a
or
nap.
what?
Take a nap. Go to bed. Who cares?
That's true. Yeah, I didn't think about it like that.
Earplugs, baby.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like you
New
are,
dad.
you
Who
can't go to
cares?
sleep. You are like when you have a newborn and stuff, it's like you can't go to sleep even though you're like at the most tired you've ever been because your baby
Why?
needs you to rock it.
Just put a little bourbon, just a little bourbon on your finger.
Yeah, it's
When
called
my
being
cat,
a man.
let me tell you something,
William,
Adam.
sorry.
When my
Well,
cat
this is William's
cries,
reaction. This is William's reaction to being a man.
when my cat cries, I just take it and I lock it in the room with its litter box, and it's like, cool. Now that's not a problem anymore.
You can
That's
do
true.
that with I think you can do that legally with your
Just
kid.
crank the tunes.
Do you have a
Crank
litter
out the
box?
jock jams.
Have you ever thought about putting your baby in a hot car for a few hours and just letting it,
that'll
chill
shut 'em
out?
up.
Whoa.
That'll shut him up.
William.
That's what my mom did to me, and it shut
New
me
dad
up.
Great
episode. That's the
idea.
pilot episode.
New dad. This kid dies.
You see those stories all the
It's
time.
just
Like,
him in jail.
I was thinking lately about a movie where Adam is a pariah, and I think Car Baby is the ultimate. Like Car Baby Dad is the ultimate pariah.
I don't get
Where I
that.
fuck up because of my own stupidity and become a pariah, you're saying?
Yeah, you leave a kid in the car and
Well,
kill it. But like
Well,
in the
now
first
I
scene, like
really can't do that.
you're like trying to
Then
get
you'd
it
be
up.
right.
It'll see premeditated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just me trying to get noticed as an actor. You know,
You're just always like, hey,
Some PR.
hey,
It's all
wife,
about
hey,
PR,
wife, hey, wife. You want to go for a ride? You want to go do something? Have an excuse to get the baby in the car? Just all day, trying to get that baby in that car.
No, you're like being interviewed on TV,
Oh,
and the baby's
I'm
in the car
trying to put
crying in
him-
the background and just like
Turn your-
steaming. You see the baby cry, and you're like, hold on, baby. I got to do this little like TikTok
can you
internet
not
video.
graphically describe it or anything?
so
Don't
like,
worry.
have you ever seen a peep in a microwave?
Yeah. That's in the background.
Picture that.
But no,
Picture
hold
that,
on.
but like
Adam
you're,
is
your
an
child.
This is
But your
the
child.
this is the pilot New
This
Dad.
is
This is
sad.
not real. This is fake. This is New
called
Dad.
Pilot is
It's
sad.
probably
Okay.
written by Seth MacFarlane.
Adam is an inspiring actor.
Oh,
He
it's a
gets-
cartoon.
it's real live action. But he gets interviewed by one of those TikTok guys who asks questions like, how many continents are there? How many moons are there? Yada yada. And Adam's just like,
Trying to, yeah.
In the background is my car.
and you hear the baby crying, and it's eventually you just see the baby like head go down and it stops crying.
Oh,
It's
stop.
just- you see
I-
its little
this-
hand
I
go up
hate
to the
this.
window. The last thing you see, it's like his little hand, like in the sex scene in Titanic, the hand goes on the steamy window, and then you just see it. That's the last thing you see. Just his little baby's finger.
But it's Adam and
Just
like Andy
wiggling.
Milonakis. And Andy Milonakis is the TikTok dude. He's like, "What's up, man? Like, come on, that's a cool Dashboard Confessional shirt. You want to answer some trivia about Dashboard Confessional?" You're like, and you have like groceries in your
sad.
arm, and you're like, "I gotta go back." Okay, 1 second.
Oh, dashboard. Fuck, I could
Yeah.
know these.
I got a dashboard confessional. My baby just died in the goddamn car.
Oh, God. It's the ultimate dashboard confessional.
You're just talking about dashboard confessional while in the background your baby is literally dying
Yeah.
on the
It's like a-
dashboard.
This is poetic now. It's like a
And the
Kenneth
camera's
Lonergan
like zooming
movie.
in really hard, and it's like really like intense.
This is like Manchester by the Sea or
Going
something.
over his shoulder.
Yes.
Just
Yes,
slowly.
it's like Manchester by the Sea, but it's shot like 3:00
Yeah.
high. So the camera's like moving the whole time, and it's like the clock's ticking, and you see, and like the baby's temperature is like going up. It's like it's like
the
that.
baby's-
No,
It's like a puppet. It's like it's like
All right,
sweating really
fuckheads.
bad.
like dry heaving. What happens when you overheat?
And then Adam like finally gets the question right,
I hope
wins
this
like
happens to both of you.
$10, and then the baby's like, it's like dead in the seat, and so he's like, "Uh-oh," and then he like scrambles through his groceries and has like a bottle of water, and it's like pouring the water on the baby's
Like it's
head.
an overheated
It's just a
engine.
character, by the way. And the baby's
then,
a
like-
character too.
And then like the sister is like drinking a Diet Coke, like, "What are you doing? We got to get to this dude's store."
We gotta get to Screw.
I'm really glad you fucked up that last part. You don't
And the
deserve
baby-
to hit a home
The
run.
baby wakes up and then Adam's like, oh, he's happy and he smiles. And then the baby's like eyes just roll in the back of its head and like blood starts like bubbling up out of its
All right,
mouth.
all
It's
right.
like,
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
And then Adam
It's a
sees
different
that.
baby. This is not your baby. This
Yeah.
is
Oh,
a Chinese
This is not
baby.
your
Okay.
You've
It's
adopted
an
a
Asian
Chinese baby. This is a
Oh, okay.
Chinese baby because you were trying to be an actor, so you wanted to be famous, so you adopted a Chinese baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're fine with a Chinese baby dying in a car, Adam?
kind of like Joey, that spin-off Joey.
Answer the question. Are you fine with a Chinese baby dying in a car?
This is your Joey.
If it would help my career as
Your
an
new
actor,
dad.
I'll say yes.
You don't have a wife. You're a single guy. You have roommates.
Okay. This is the other path my life could have taken.
No, you still
Still
got
a
time.
dad.
You still got time to go down that path.
That's true. It's never too late. Follow your dreams if you're a husband and father.
I
and
had
you don't
three
live
people
near
this,
any sort of media centers. It's never too late.
I had 3 people this weekend ask me, different people ask me what my plan, what am I doing with my life? Like, what do you
That's
plan?
cool.
What's your
So
your
you
10
were-
year?
You're
And I
on
was
the
like,
Joe.
what? Who's thinking 10 years ahead? That's crazy.
Lots of people.
Yeah, that's stupid. Live
I mean,
now.
I mean, it honestly, that's what COVID, I think, has taught us all, is that you can't
you
factor
can't
in
do shit.
what's going to happen. We're all just waiting for nature to make its decision.
we're all,
We're all
waiting for
just
na-
babies in a car waiting
Yeah.
to get locked in.
This is me talking.
We
to
want
the
our
girls,
daddy to.
explaining
We
why I
want our
shouldn't be
daddy
sent
to turn
jail.
on the AC, but
Daddy,
he's busy.
AC.
Exactly,
please.
exactly, so to speak.
There's actually like he has triplets. There's like 3 kids in the back of the car.
3 Chinese babies.
Yeah.
But it's fine. If it's fine because they're Chinese, you just go get a new one.
No,
It's
honestly,
like
if,
when a goldfish dies, you just replace it with a new one, and nobody notices the difference.
actually,
Yeah,
if we were being real Chinese, we would be like a very pro-China show. If we wanted to actually help my career out.
Yeah. Like you take them and then you sell them to fucking
Think.
what's a Chinese restaurant? God
Hillary
damn it.
Clinton. Oh,
Panda Express.
Yeah. You chop them up
Sure.
and
P.F. Chang's.
that's your job. You work
No.
there and you're like,
This-
like
the
Adam,
show-
we need meat for the
No.
orange chicken. And you're like, I forgot to get the meat at the grocery store. So then you have
That's
the baby,
pretty
the
funny.
dead
I
babies.
I also forgot to leave my kid. I forgot to not leave my kid in the car. Things.
No.
It's going to be
This
one
is-
of those days.
Yeah. And so you chop up the dead babies and you make like orange chicken.
No.
And Amy Milanakis is like,
It's not
whoa, this is
China.
pretty good.
No,
China would
no.
not like that. No, if we want to help my career, we have to make it so
This is a
have
Chinese TV show.
triplets,
It's a
and
Chinese TV show.
I take them out of the car and I forget the American baby.
What? Well, are my Chinese babies
Oh
be
my
like you?
God.
That's like the president of China's calling you on the phone. He's like,
I'm like, oh
"Bawas,
fuck, oh god, what am I gonna say?
we are having a fight at 3:00.
3 o'clock, Tiananmen Square.
Yeah.
This will
3
be
o'clock square.
unforgettable. And then Adam's just the
That guy standing in
the
front of
grocery
the
guy with the tank with the
that guy
groceries.
standing in front of the tanks with his grocery bags. It's
That's
like
Adam.
his baby's in the car, like, Dad, help me.
He's got
What
all
are
the
you
orange
doing?
chicken ingredients and that's what
Yeah.
he was picking up at the grocery store, but he forgot the chicken.
Honestly, this movie, I was thinking like when he fights the
Bully. Yeah,
bully
let's talk
at
about
the
the
end,
fight.
I think it feels like he's standing up to fascism.
It's funny you say that because let me read you a little bit of Roger Ebert's review.
It's basically like a communist, sort of like
Hol-
the worker rises.
Hollywood teenage movies have been edging towards fascism for years. There once may have been a time when nice kids got ahead by being nice, but in today's Hollywood, muscle and brute strength count for everything. 1 star.
This is
Count
the
for
time.
every
This is
one
the-
star.
I think that was
People got
perfect
so-
delivery, honestly, of the tone he was intending.
What's his problem? He's just you can't tell he's,
He's a
watching a
critic.
comedy.
He's too sensitive or something.
Movie
If there's
critics
a-
are fake. Movie critics are stupid. They're like wine connoisseurs. They're not real. There's no major difference in wines. There's no major difference in movies.
If there's
You
a
like him or you
pathological
don't.
bully in the student body, no attempt is made to understand him, sympathize with him, or encourage the audience in the difficult process of empathy.
That's what he says about this movie too.
Yes, there's no, but
Yeah,
that's not
that's what I'm
true. They
saying.
totally show the guy in a sympathetic light.
Well,
The bully.
the whole
They
sympathy
totally
is
show him
like
as like
him
a sensitive.
existing.
Yes.
He's got the He's obviously got dirty clothes. He's been wearing the same shirt for who knows how long with the sweat stain.
Dude,
why
go to a
isn't
laundromat.
anybody? Well, why isn't anybody like, hey, bro, you good? What's going on at home? Like, the fuck? He's
you
clearly
interesting,
being
Ryan?
abused.
Interesting.
Are you supposed to be Judd Nelson, dude? What's happening?
There's also no parents
Is
at
that
all
like
in
a-
this movie.
Did you have the guy who like worked on cars and like had a tough life and like smoked cigs? Was that like a guy at your school? Because every 80s movie that's like the bad guy.
like a grown man in his 30s.
But he
Yeah,
can only take his
He's going to high
he's-
school.
wearing like a wife beater. He's like Marlon Brando in Streetcar Named Desire, and he's like in high school. And you're like,
Well,
whoa,
yeah,
that
because
guy's-
that was
that
like
guy grew up
considered
fast, man.
well, that is considered like a blue collar job. And if you're working in high school, if you have a job in high school, especially like a greasy blue collar job, that means you probably come from an impoverished family. So that's why those.
See, California, we don't have blue collar jobs.
Oh, so
So
the
I don't
bully
have
is the
real
communist.
jobs out there. Everything is fake out in California.
You're saying the bully is the communist and he's rising up against the
No, the bully is like
bourgeoisie nerd.
no, the bully is like we don't know anything about the bully. That review is actually really good because they don't ever give us any backstory on the bully. Like we don't see his home life. Like why is he bullying? Why doesn't he want to be touched?
Yeah, it's
Why
like
isn't
broad,
that like he
but-
literally is like I don't want people to know about me. And that he's like I don't want you to do the interview. I don't want people to know about me. And he would have been fine if he wouldn't have touched him on the shoulder.
To give it one
all of it-
star though is, come on, man. There's a lot of like effort.
It's his job.
It's set in the 80s. It was an embarrassment of riches. So you could shit on a movie because there was 3 good movies also opening that weekend. Like it didn't matter. Like there was just an
So
endless
true.
supply. You know, you could have The Gate, something cool like that, or Ishtar.
So I remember seeing The Gate on TV when I was a kid. Randomly, I like turned to it, and it was the scene where Steven Dorff has an eyeball in his palm, like
Oh, the
open up,
end?
and he takes it and stabs it. Yeah, it was like the most intense scene possible of that movie.
I remember you telling. Didn't we watch?
Yeah,
didn't
you-
we
and
do
I
an
you
episode
saw.
on that?
I just turned to it when I was like 9 or something, and I was like, "Holy fuck!"
Yeah, you told us this story. Did we do an episode or were you just talking about
No, he talked about this.
I just talk. This must have been a long time ago.
it? Never forget, dude.
Never forget my story of seeing The Gate.
Never forget the 3 Chinese babies, R.I.P. Adam. Adam's adopted children.
True Hollywood.
Yeah, the ones
stars.
that live.
Ooh, that's a good book title.
Talk about my 3 Chinese babies.
But imagine Weekend at Bernie's, but with a dead baby.
Oh boy, William.
You just got. How would you do
Sounds
it?
like a script that you should work on for like
New
3
dad.
months.
You
And be
just
like,
got
fuck, this is way too.
You just have a limp baby and a Bjorn on your chest with sunglasses
Yes.
on.
Yes,
just
yes. New dad. That's the
And you're
pilot.
You're like trying to like, Mama. Nope, he's
Yeah.
thirsty.
Yeah.
Milk.
Yeah.
Trying to talk out of the side of your mouth.
I'm like
Okay.
crossing the baby's legs, and making it
Wow.
sit in a chair, and like
yeah.
You're like-
Wow.
You have like a turd in the sleeve of your
I was gonna say you
your
have
shirt,
to.
and you have to put it in the diaper so you can change it. And it's just like a big turd.
taking my
That's a
turds.
whole-
Yeah.
That's a whole
Cutting-
scene where,
cutting them
he's
into
like,
baby
"Oh, I gotta
turds.
go to the bathroom. The baby's gotta go. I gotta go.
the
change
baby's
the baby.
like rotten. You're like,
Oh, come
my
on.
baby
He's like
took a
green and
big
decomposing.
dookie. And everyone's like uncomfortable and scared.
Mm.
I think that's a dead baby.
Yeah, those stories never take it to see how you have to, like, if you had to keep doing that when that became an issue.
Weekend at
They're
Bernie's. Yeah,
decomposing.
he never brought it. He always looked great.
Dude, they should do a new one.
was only like a week.
now and have him be like a skeleton.
Weekend at Babies.
Yeah.
That's a Simpson joke, right?
Speaking of babies, I don't know. No,
The
can we do
skeleton
an
Weekend at
episode where we
Bernie's.
don't bring up Seinfeld or The Simpsons or
it?
some other shitty sitcom?
Yeah, those shows are shitty.
No, they're good. They're just so basic.
So what? I'm not afraid of being basic, Ryan. I'm a fucking grown man.
Yeah, I
You
can
know.
tell, dude.
Also, those are basic because they're incredibly popular. Look,
I
man,
bet
I'm in
you're-
a shed.
I bet
You're
Or
in a
is that the
bedroom.
critic? It might have been the critic.
Oh, the
Adam,
critic
I
was-
am in a bedroom with
I've
a
been wanting
light
to
and
see
air
that.
conditioning. You're in a shed. Did you just say that? Like that was like you're doing
No,
better,
dude.
Your
No,
phone's about to die.
You're
in a shed
basic.
by trash.
You're more basic. You're in a bedroom.
Shut up,
Dude, I
Adam.
raw dogged a dude and her dad the
Well,
other day.
maybe Adam's pretty extreme.
I have a good point, I think.
He's basically
No.
homeless.
How many people podcast in these conditions?
I know that's basic as hell, dude.
That's not what basic means.
We can have babies.
I
Think
bet-
of
hold
something
on.
else.
I'm coming at you for a
Dude,
second,
Dad.
Adam. Adam, you're the basic. I bet I can tell you what your fall pictures are going to look like. Your wife is going to she's going to wear like a wide brimmed hat. She's going to wear like a white linen summer dress.
This sounds like a really good
Are you
look.
describing his
She's-
funeral? I'm
She's
sorry,
gonna
I
have
zoned out.
she's gonna have you're gonna put khaki pants on Owen and probably maybe a bow tie
Don't
and a
say the
button-up
kid's
shirt.
name.
Oh,
The
that'd be so
Chinese
cute.
Sorry.
baby. The
Yeah, but
Chinese
cut that out,
baby.
Cut
Talk about the
that out.
Chinese baby that's dead on his chest.
on Owan. That's the Chinese
Or,
name.
or the triplets.
Win on Win. And, N. And and you're gonna be
I think it'd be cool if
in a
Adam
full
ran
linen.
around.
You're gonna be in a full linen.
No.
Shoot,
I think
no
Adam-
shoe- no shoes.
here's
You're
how-
gonna be barefoot.
Shut up. Adam's dressed like Death Stranding, but he has dead babies attached to his arms and legs and stacked up
brother.
in his backpack. Just like piles of corpses of dead Chinese babies. And he's just running around like, I gotta go to the audition. I gotta go to the audition. It's like,
I'm in LA.
but it's like Death Stranding UI when he reaches the audition. They're like, hello, welcome to the audition. And it's just like a
I don't know
9-hour
these references.
Still, like,
Hideo
commuting.
Kojima,
Across the city to Santa Monica.
but you're on a
this.
motorcycle. Yeah. You're like,
This game sounds
zing,
awesome,
Dead
honestly.
babies flapping in the wind.
And you fall
I don't
down a
think-
hill and you
Yeah.
drop all your dead babies and you have to gather them from like oil monsters.
I don't know about this dead Chinese baby thing, but other than that,
Well, you need to get all the dead babies because they're gonna feel the thing
We
that
joke.
gives you
He
your
had-
career.
That game literally has a fucking baby on his chest. So what am I even satirizing? That game's already like insane.
so true.
I never played it.
I thought it was too boring. I stopped playing it pretty fast.
I beat it.
Yeah, you're a very driven, focused person.
Thank
Did you
you.
get all the trophies though?
No,
Platinum star or what?
no,
You're
not at all.
fucking slacker.
Then you didn't fucking beat it.
Yeah.
There's 3 credits.
You
How
so
can
I-
you make your
I-
dad
you
proud?
concluded
thought I
the
beat it.
story.
I thought I beat it because I saw the credits, and then I was like, "Oh wait, there's more. There's like hours and hours and hours more of just." And then they show the credits again, and then they
You
show the
finished that
credits.
part.
Yeah, and then I was like, "I am never playing this game again."
But you didn't get
So
platinum.
you didn't beat it.
Yeah. What would your
You
dad
concluded
think?
this. You finished the story.
If your dad was alive, what would he think?
Probably disappointed. dude.
He would not rescue me from a hot car. Let's put it that way.
Damn. Old dad.
He'd probably be in there with you, nodding off.
It might be cool if like the kid was like 3 and it didn't die, but it just had a horrible sunburn on half his face.
It's just peeling
Oh.
like it's crispy the rest of the movie.
Like a two-faced kind of baby.
Yeah.
just crispy.
These are fun jokes.
And he's really happy and he's laughing.
All
He's
right,
playing like
hold on.
T-ball.
Adams doesn't like the jokes. Do a PG joke. What's a joke you want to do, Adam, when it's not offensive?
Why can't we do a joke about a baby in a cool car?
And it's all cold and it's like,
Hey, do it. Let's do it.
His
What's a
lips
baby
are
in a
blue?
cool car?
No,
Then he
his
freezes to
lips
death?
are pink. Nice,
His little wiener
nice,
shrivels
healthy
up
pink.
inside of his body.
Yeah, his
It's-
wiener gets a little.
it's like a Lamborghini.
For the first time, his wiener shrivels up.
So
And the
how's the
dad-
baby die in a cool car?
This is much better. Just a little bit of fun.
A little bit of
The
flavor.
dad's like super buff and tall and like has beautiful long hair.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were
And he's-
describing me.
Yeah, I'm describing you, but in a cool, and the dad's
Dude,
cool.
imagine if I
Adam's
had
like all
long hair.
cool.
Imagine if I had Ryan's hair. I'd be
You
fucking.
can have some. I'll mail you
And they're
some.
like,
I'd be a senator.
he gets a cell phone call and he answers it on his hands-free. No, you're not a senator. You have your hands-free phone interface in your car, and it's like, This is Dashboard Confessional. We need you, Adam. And you're like, better get to the studio.
Time to confess.
They're like,
And then it's custom me.
Adam. We need a really good blowjob. You're like, right there for you, buddy. And you just like,
they can't write.
Suck all their
They're
dicks.
And you're like, I don't know. They go, Adam, I know you've never done this. We're going to need a really good blowjob. I know you give pretty mediocre, above average blowjobs, but we need.
Focus, Adam.
We need.
And they're like, oh, you washed my car, right? Thanks.
Yeah, that. But
He gets out at the valet
to
and
William
he
and
throws
Ryan
the
instead
key.
of me.
He throws the key to the valet when he pulls up in the car, and the 3 Asian babies are in the back, and he throws the keys and he goes, "Don't leave it running," and then roll them windows up.
Yeah.
Man, it'd be so fun to like fight a baby.
Yeah, people get mad at you.
Pick a fight with the baby. 3 o'clock. I'd probably get my ass kicked, but still.
Don't you touch me, baby.
Your baby touched me. I just break the baby's finger, or it just folds because they don't have
Brass
bones yet.
knuckles. You just beat the shit out of it.
But they're not even like made yet. They're not even humans yet. So it's like there's no bone. So it's just like punching jelly.
It'd be cute to have little baby brass knuckles. Just put it on your baby.
You fuck shit up. You know, babies just throw their hands around willy nilly.
That's true. Dude, I almost got fucked up by a straw.
You go to a gas station.
Do
Do they sell baby brass knuckles at gas stations?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe like a keychain thing. You could put
it's
like a little keychain of brass knuckles. You could put it on a baby's hand.
And you can put their name on all the knuckles, like those license plate keychains.
Hey, how much longer we got, you think?
Probably 90 minutes.
Fuck.
How much longer is your battery?
My family's driving away.
They finally left. They finally.
Yeah, fuck.
There's like this luggage on the top. They're clearly.
Yeah.
Fuck. I really want to stop them, but we.
Why?
What do you mean your family?
Yet.
Just leave.
Just kidding.
Wait, why do you got to leave?
Hold on one second.
Yeah, Ryan and I can't handle the show without you, Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, I really want to save the baby in my car, but I got to do the podcast. That would be the worst.
Is his like family in town, or is he talking about his wife and his kid? He's like a dog, dude. He's literally like a dog. He'll wait by the door for his wife to come home and wag his tail. I've seen it.
I mean,
I've seen it.
He's lucky to have her after what he did to the kids.
Unconditional love.
His kid's got a horrible sunburn on the side of his face. His arm.
One of them. The only one that survived.
He's just like half.
And he only survived because the one of the dead babies fell on half on top of him to cover just half of the body. It shaded half of the body.
Like a war baby where it's like it hides in the corpses.
Yep.
Like Jaws.
War baby. I want to watch that show. Barbarian baby.
It'd be a cool Pixar movie instead of Boss Baby, War Baby.
War baby.
And it's in Vietnam, and it's just like it's freaking out.
Wow. What is it good for? What is it good?
That's a UCB sketch.
For?
That's a UCB sketch.
It's
they did that on their show.
Did they really?
Yeah, Vietnam baby. We were just babies. And Matt Besser does like the voice of like,
I don't remember.
We were just baby. They have like little babies on green screen with like holding grenades and like,
yeah.
And then it's just over like Vietnam documentary footage.
Hell yeah.
Well, maybe we can update it with like a little desert war. You know, they're in Iraq, they're in Syria. They
got to deal with sand spider. The spiders are bigger than them.
Yeah.
They're riding camel spiders like horses.
Left.
Who's they?
My family.
Extended family or like just your wife and kid?
My wife and kid. Just my wife and kid. Not like my cousins and shit. So it's not
well,
that
you're recording a
errands.
podcast, so they're giving you time.
Yeah. I was describing you as a dog.
So how did Whitney say goodbye?
What the fuck, Ryan?
I mean,
because you heard
to
it.
you?
Did she talk
did she
about
say
us?
bye to us?
Yeah. She said tell William bye. She didn't mention Ryan, but
Speaking of bullies, your wife's a bully, dude.
to me.
I was getting triggered. To me.
Why?
She always bullied me.
For real?
She apologized about it once. Yeah.
It's fun to get Adam's wife on
Her and Barbara would tag team my ass.
In the bully,
like
in the
pegging?
bully zone.
No, I tried to get them to peg me, and then they bullied me about being into pegging.
That's uncool. Like, take your bullying energy out through the pegging.
You were at all of those brunches, Adam,
Guys,
that I was
we make
getting
fun.
completely bullied, and you didn't help me. You were
about-
not my ride or die.
but you mean
dude.
like
you
about
were
like-
not my ride or die.
About like issues and stuff? Where they're talking to you about your issues.
Is pegging
No,
really that
they would talk to me
uncool?
about my jackets.
Damn, man, your hair.
my
If I
hair.
had your fucking hair, man.
See, they bullied me about my hair.
Your
So
hair's
if
so
you had
good.
my hair, your wife would be bullying your ass.
That's
every
because
day.
they like you,
You're like
Ryan.
you have like tiger.
Adam's
beat hair.
wife liked you.
They-
That's- She liked you.
Pretty wild shit you're saying, William.
What?
Dude, I can't wait to kill 3 Asian babies with that broad.
To have a kid and then
To have
accidentally get it killed.
Purposely, accidentally.
Ryan could kill 3 Chinese babies, no problem.
Maybe. Yeah. Where do you even find them?
Like John Wick.
My
don't sell yourself
race,
short.
my
That's
racist
Ryan's
ass would end up killing a
pilot.
Japanese, a Korean, and a Filipino.
Ryan's
HBO
just-
Max.
Just
He's
running
dressed-
through
he's in
a
a
hallway
suit.
shooting
Babies.
Chinese babies.
I'm like, I killed 3 Chinese
And-
babies, and they're like, those are 3 different Asian. One of those kids is straight up Indian.
Very
Just
diverse.
that's the
Not
thing
like
about
3
your
o'clock
characters.
high.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
I'm a racist.
True. That's what. Yeah. How's
Then we
that come
find out
for?
it was baby John Wayne Gacy, baby
Yeah,
Baby Dick
clown.
Schlitter.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Baby Dick. Oh,
Baby
Dick.
Yeah, Baby Dick is his nickname. Schlitter is his actual name.
Schlitter, Dick Schlitters.
Oh yeah, I told you the new thing I keep laughing about is taking the world's worst penis photo and sending it to girls.
Yeah, that's
But,
pretty funny.
I
Oh, so
can't
you
do
finally
that.
just accepted that you have the world's worst penis? Because any photo you
It
take
looks
is
pretty-
going to
from
be
any
a
angle,
picture.
I
From
was
any
like, this-
angle, it's going to be the world's worst penis, William.
I was
Come
like,
on.
this is funny. What if I just sent this?
It's like the Hitler penis. That's probably the worst one, right?
No, that one's
It's crazy
pretty
that the
fun.
guy with the worst dick did the worst thing.
What? You can see Hitler's penis?
I know
Hitler had
he
a
killed 3
deformed
babies in his
micropenis.
car. Can you believe that guy? What a fucking asshole!
So to speak, in a way.
The guy with the worst penis killed 3 Chinese babies.
those 3
I can't
babies
believe
were
it.
Europe.
Those 3 babies were actually 6 million Jews.
Yeah.
Were actually real people. And a lot of babies.
He should have just had a bunch of cars.
See, look at that.
In
Nobody's
Auschwitz.
talking about the Holocaust
like
because
Jay Leno or
9/11 stole the
And
best.
yeah,
ever
he just
did.
has a lot of. They keep buying cars and making
He's just-
cars.
Just wearing all denim.
Yeah, hey,
Really into car.
get these babies in the cars over there, okay? Oh, woo! God, he
Is
has like
that Hitler?
wacky. He has like wacky Burbank. He's like driving around Burbank, like a wacky Hitler car. Jay Leno, I bought Hitler's car.
Wah, wah.
It's like a Hitler outfit, but all denim. And Jay Leno is driving the car like,
Damn
oh,
it.
woo! Yeah.
It's got one of those Ghostbusters, the old Slimer horns you could attach to your bike.
He's got
Kevin,
salt-
get in
was giving
here.
out.
Kevin, get in here.
He's got salt and
He's
pepper.
just-
Hey, you
Hitler
crazy,
mustache.
man. You crazy.
He's
Or
just
Gray
laughing,
Hitler.
holding a boom, 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 boom. You crazy? Dum, 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 dum. Wow. Bum, bum.
It's coded. Run him over. Chase him.
Oh, brother.
Oh man.
Oh, brother. Oh, we have fun on here.
This is
we
a great
have fun.
podcast.
It should be men on fun.
It's a great pro-China podcast.
That's fuck China.
I honestly, I
That
bet
shit's
China
over.
would be pumped if we took some of their, because what are they all about? Only having one kid at a time?
Not anymore. No,
They're
they're like,
not doing
have
that
lots
anymore.
of kids. Have lots of kids. See, a lot of people think China's going to overtake the world, but their population's about to drop and they're fucked.
They're
That's-
gonna take over the world. They're gonna absorb us because we're pretty much already their bitch.
No.
Too many dudes. That's their problem.
Yeah, they got weird
Too
dude
many
energy.
dudes.
No, there really
Too
are
many-
too many dudes instead of women, and they can't.
The real Russia situation. Opposite of Russia. Russia's got too many broads.
No,
Yeah, it's like 1-5 guy to girl ratio.
because the guys
in
die
Russia.
young.
That's
The
why
guys
Russian.
die young.
Well, that's why Russian brides are a thing. They're like, it's hard. There's like
Oh, there's
so
too
many
many ladies.
excess. There's too many. Yeah,
Oh,
there's literally
fuck,
like
dude.
five,
They're gonna
five
fucking-
women to one man or
If
something
they
like
figure
that.
this out, if China and Russia
That's a
figure this
Beach Boys
out,
song.
they're gonna.
5
fig-
girls for every guy.
One. If you're Russian.
Yeah,
Should make more orgy
the Russian Beach
Bombs.
Boys. That'd be tight.
guys. They're gonna. This is what's gonna happen. Russia and China are gonna
Have a baby.
intermix. Yeah, and
Fuck in the
they're gonna
USSR.
merge. It's over. That's
Damn,
why
I'm
I'm
not.
saying that right now. I
the
love
ultimate hybrid.
China.
A Chinese
And
Russian. I don't think I've
is
ever
that-
met that.
I think Adam's describing the bad guys in the video game Strider, which were like
Russo China.
Yeah.
I love Russo China. Does that happen in Strider?
Yeah, that's the bad guys in Strider. They're like weird,
Well,
super communists.
So the ninja has
Hell
to
yeah.
Fight them in a futuristic world.
Japanese. So it's Japanese against that though. It's not
His
America.
sword is one big swipe graphic. There's no visible sword. It's just a swipe.
Okay.
That's
Boom.
cool. That's another good trivia from William.
Yeah,
He's a movie guy.
He's just I'll be
He loves
Strider,
movies.
and I'm slicing up. This is a video game, so and then I'm slicing up babies.
He loves movies.
We got
What's a video game if not an interactive movie?
That's true. We should fucking just start talking about video games.
tell us
Good
about
podcast.
control, Adam. How important control is to a video game.
Controls.
Yeah, tell us.
The most important. Think about Tony Hawk. How fun that is to play. It's all in the controls.
Another one.
It's like a fingerboard. You know, like every game should be just like its own fingerboard.
It's hot out there in that car. His wife and kid are dying.
In the background.
Imagine that as a game. That's good. If anybody from Steam is listening, make this game, or anybody that is game developers,
iPhone.
make this game.
Switch.
You got three. It's literally everything you described. You're out you leave your 3 Asian kids in the back seat of a car, and because you go to do a TikTok interview, and then you have to figure out how to get back into that car before the babies die.
You just walk up to the car and let them in. How do people forget? Who are these guys? I imagine they're alcoholics.
They
They just
don't
pass
sleep.
out.
No, they don't sleep, or they have too many kids, or they think they can just run in and run out.
If you do that out there, we don't
People-
want you as a listener. Okay.
No. I don't think like sure there
Well,
are
Adam
times
gets
that
excited. He
parents-
says he
parents
doesn't
had-
sleep. He's
for
probably
sure.
Adam is
exhausted.
like, slow down. Wait a minute. Let's hear it from the guy's perspective. Being a new dad is
I want
tough.
to hear the dad out.
Maybe they're tired. They didn't get enough sleep.
Well, that's what I was going to say is, this country makes it pretty hard to be a parent, honestly, with the paid
Yeah.
leave.
in the
like
health
childcare.
and shit. Yes, dude. That's
You're
why people
working
aren't
2
having
jobs.
kids in America.
Yeah, of course.
And it's going to suck because now we're going to be old and we're not going to have anybody to take care of us.
But they're
so that's why
they're forcing births now.
So that's
why
exactly
abortion
why
is
they're
legal,
getting rid of exactly because
So
we're
they
going to
don't have
need people to take care of us when we're older.
because they've created such a vacuum of upwards wealth that it's fucking up society basically.
Why don't you
So
go back to
instead of-
communist China, you fucking loser, and get your life together? And
Love
stop playing video games and maybe
China.
go work at Panda Express and wash dishes. You know what I'm saying?
You've thought about that?
I don't play video games. I'm a fucking parent, working
Yeah,
parent.
exactly. What are you doing right now?
William is playing video games.
What are you
my
doing right
special
now?
podcast?
Why do people think you got to do stuff with your life? Like, what is this? You got to have kids. You got to have
No, you don't
jobs. You
gotta
got to do this.
No.
You just got to
Ryan, don't worry
exist,
about it.
bro.
Slack
that's-
off.
I'm
That's-
not worried. You guys
That's
sound
very
worried.
wise.
I'm
the
not
one.
worried.
People-
I'm not manic. Okay.
If you do
Okay.
Adam's studio apartment that he had in Silver Lake before he had a kid, it's so funny to imagine that guy having a kid.
Yeah.
Why?
That apartment was dope though, but that's like a
Oh.
bachelor pad.
I think he's talking about
apartment.
the one I had before I moved in when I was by myself.
Yes, your studio.
Oh,
Yeah.
not the one I know you from.
No. That was
And then I
apartment.
took
miss
your
that
bedroom.
place.
And then I took your bedroom from Babs, and there was so many cum stains on the wall and just piss everywhere.
Yeah. The piss was Whitney.
Yeah, I figured. I smelled it, and it smelled a little feminine.
It smelled
You
like
really
it
got
liked
into
it. It smelled like it secretly liked you, right? Wink,
I
wink.
go,
feminine.
This smells
Little
like smells like a bully who has a crush on me's piss.
She
I
was
think
on
your
She
my
wife
does.
brow.
My
crush
wife
on me,
does
bro.
that. She's very open about it. She
About the
pictures.
crush?
Yeah,
She
she tells me that she pictures you when we're having sex.
She has a printer. She just printed off of zoomed in of my face piece of paper that she tapes over your face. So it's just like all
Wouldn't that be funny?
distorted.
It's you with like a backwards hat and like Bret the Hitman Hart sunglasses on. One of those
Fuck yeah.
pictures.
It just says "eat shit" on
Holding
my
Mountain Dew.
sunglasses.
Yeah.
My roommate has a pair of sunglasses that just say "eat shit" on them.
That's cool.
I should start wearing them.
That's what Jack Nicholson should wear.
Okay.
Bret the Hitman Hart. He should
The
dress like
Oscars.
Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
He's all fat. Hello, everybody. I'm back.
Laborious breathing.
Actors should have theme music at the Oscars like wrestlers.
Absolutely. A lot of
That's
us
a
do
fun
it.
idea.
Oh, shit, here it
wrap it up
comes.
music.
And like you see the sparks come out and like this, they cut to, and it's like John Travolta coming out dressed like Sting, and he has like white and black makeup on. And he's on a motorcycle. It's like John Travolta. Oh shit, this is awesome. And then he like drives a motorcycle down the aisle, gets on stage.
Side saddles a motorcycle down the aisle.
There's like a
With
ring
his
on
legs
stage.
crossed. It's like the gayest thing we've ever seen John Travolta do.
Yes. He's all fat.
Side saddling a motor.
Side saddling with his legs crossed.
That is like a very fun. I think you're nailing it with the gay description. Something about it is.
But
It's
he's
like a
he's still
beautiful-
dressed up like from Greece.
Well, to have the option to ride in a motorcycle, which is like incredibly straight and like badass stuff.
What about what if he's on a girl's bicycle? It's just a girl's
badass.
bicycle instead,
Yeah.
with like
Oh,
streamers
riding
on the
that
handles.
like a motorcycle.
No, riding that side saddle, like a banana seat,
Okay, sure.
girl's bicycle with the big, like, because girls' bicycles have that lower bar. So
and then they got the big streamers hat flying off.
yes. And John Travolta's like
He's
on
wearing
that.
a big hat, a big
Fling,
wide brimmed hat.
Yes. A nice little cute bell on it
Yeah.
from flowers in the
What if,
basket.
guys? What if?
And then he jumps off the stage, and one of the little PAs comes running in, all dressed in all black with a little headset, comes in to grab the bike to take it off, and he just slaps the ass of this little intern PA boy, he doesn't stop. It's not a slap and go. He slaps and leaves his palm there, and kind of gets his middle finger into the crack area, just a little, just lingering
Gooses
a little
him
too long.
like Baby
And
Herman
then
did to that girl.
straight
There's
up
like
gooses him.
there's like wet droplets sliding off his fingers. But then he walks over to the corpse of Olivia Newton-John, who has a fake headset on, but her eyes are just like staring in opposite directions. And then they sing a duet to Grease. And this is how the Oscars begins. John Travolta.
And then at the end he goes, "We've had fun." At the end of their song and dance, he goes, "We've had fun. She's up in heaven now, and I can't wait to get there." He goes, "And I can't wait for you to tell me about it, stud." And then he closes.
They get to the car, then they get in a car, and it's like a very elaborate sequence of like strings and pulleys lifting the car over the entire like Oscar audience.
Yeah, and
In
there's
the
a
theater.
there's a
Very cool.
vroom vroom car
Yeah.
noise. It like super cheesy Grease.
People are
Grease lightning. Da, 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 da.
And Jack Nicholson is just dressed like Bret the Hitman Hart. And just sobbing, just crying
people-
so hard.
pan-
And there's like a
panning
standing
across-
ovation.
Everyone's crying and standing
Yeah.
ovation. It pans across the audience, pans across the behind the scenes, and everyone's crying for the same reason. And then it gets to that PA that was just sexually assaulted by John Travolta, and he's crying, but in a way different kind of cry.
It's
He's
literally
crying and like shivering, and he's like he's just been sexually assaulted by Travolta.
he's literally the actor from 3 O'Clock High who played the lead. That was never in. It was in like 4 more movies and then never seen again.
I wonder how that lead actor in 3 O'Clock High, how he aged. I want to look him up.
He's in Young Guns. They tried, like he had he had very successful friends who tried to put him in movies and stuff, but
He's
like,
got like baby face or something.
yeah,
He wasn't a bad
miscast.
actor though.
He was miscast. He was cast
They
as a
tried to
nerd,
play him as the
when he's
nerd,
really smoldering James Dean Marlon Brando type.
I want to see him in like as like a serial rapist.
Yes, me too.
Same character though, same actor, same like
You're
Presence.
sounded very interested in that, William.
3
I know
O'Clock High too.
William sparked up when I said that.
3
he
O'Clock
looked up
High,
and-
director's cut. You know what I'm saying?
3
He takes
O'Clock
his nerd
High.
rage out
3
on-
O'Clock High 2, the after school special.
Mm.
He's like getting ready for the rape, but he oversleeps. So he's like, uh-oh. And he has like his bag and he's like throwing in like rope and like
His sister's throwing him dildos and like
rags and handcuffs
knives and stuff,
yeah.
duct tape.
Do. And his sister's like,
He
oh, geez, you're such a
throws- he-
nerd.
He throws a bloody rag into the
Yeah.
microwave to dry it.
Where's
He's
the
like, "Oh,
rope?
Also,
Oh!
how did
Almost
his
gets in
clothes
an
get
accident.
everywhere? In the beginning, in the opening scene, he's looking for fresh clothes. He has clothes and he knows exactly where all of his clothes are. The clothes behind the couch, the clothes under the cushion, the clothes behind the pillow, the clothes under the thing. Like he would strategically have to put those clothes there. They wouldn't just naturally fall there. It took me right out of the movie.
For a slob, he's like very, kind of put together.
Yeah.
Well, so what are your ratings or meanings?
I'm
My computer's about to die.
I'm gonna go 3 on this one. It was good. It was fun. It was nice, clean. I'll probably never watch it again though. And it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough to like be like, hey, let's get a group together and get high and watch. Like it's not
that. Yeah.
It's not bad enough to be good and not good enough to be bad.
But what about those scenes like where that scene where he does his book report and he fucking makes out with the teacher and stuff like and the knife?
No,
like,
dude, I'm telling you, the direction.
This is like a movie nerd.
That's why I went above 2.
If you go like, hey, you want to see a movie that's shot like After Hours, watch 3 O'Clock High. It's really
also
cool.
the soundtrack is really good. Tangerine
Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Very forgotten soundtrack, I feel like.
Well, the scene where he seduces the teacher is very similar to like something on a Risky Business, and it even kind of sounds. Well, they did the soundtrack for Risky Business too.
No, I'm saying like I want to be able to easily hear the soundtrack.
Well, you can't.
I feel like you can't.
You can't.
That's why I'm pissed. I looked it up. I couldn't easily find it. I'm sure it's around, but
sing it. I
didn't look that hard.
Look up the lyrics and then just sing it into your phone notes. And then anytime you want to listen to it, you can just pop that on.
Yeah, you want to listen to this soundtrack? I mean, how hard could it be?
Are you trying?
YouTube, 3 O'Clock High soundtrack, Tangerine Dream. There you go.
Cool. I said I
But that's YouTube. Now, YouTube makes you pay extra if you want to hear the app in the background. That's bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
You want to hear the what in the background?
Dude, it's kind of like,
what?
Music.
You can
play in the background.
You can play like music
like
in the
YouTube,
background for $15 a month. That's bullshit.
That's
you know what you're doing right now, William? You're doing what Jerry was doing to Buddy at the end when he called him a pussy. You're standing up for yourself, finally.
All it took was you to get called a pussy.
I'm the best Googler.
YouTube was
I'm the best
with you.
Googler. I'm the best Googler. Okay, I can find anything.
No, YouTube is the bully.
No, you're the bully.
Dude, I could Google.
I wanted to listen to the soundtrack. I couldn't find it.
I could Google so much. I bet I'm way better of a Googler than you, dude. When's the last time you Googled? When's the last time you Googled?
Pretty recently.
He's talking about looking stuff up online, right? He's not talking about sticking his eyes out of their sockets window. I'm talking wiggling your eyeballs around.
Peeping in with people's windows and watching them sleep. That's called that's Googling, bro.
You're a better Googler than William in that.
Oh, I love Googling, dude. I know how half this neighborhood, I know what it looks like when they sleep.
That should be the name of the crime, actually. If you're doing peeping Tom stuff, it should be called Googling.
He has an assault back in high school, theft, 3 accounts of Googling. 4 DUIs.
Would it be funny
if you Google something?
the guy in the movie kind of looks like the East Area rapist. You know, the Golden State Killer.
Rapist.
The Golden State Killer.
Oh.
Why did you call him the East Area rapist?
So
that's his original name.
If you know him, that's what you call him.
That was like his rookie year.
This is William's good friend.
I thought someone read a lot of true crime. Oh, that was the girl that got attacked. Never mind. That was
one woman. Oh yeah, bringing her up. Yeah.
So Adam, what's your rating?
We're going back to that story.
Life's gritty, Adam. Life is gritty. It ain't all sunshine and sausages.
Give us a number.
I think that's wrong.
Give us a number.
3.5, baby.
3.5 dead babies.
3.5 dead Chinese babies. Because that half one is just sunburnt.
Oh yeah, the Two-Face one.
Adam is dressed up in his Death Stranding cosplay, and he has like 3 dead babies strapped to him. 3.5. The half a baby it's just another baby's head on his head. He just has a little baby head.
Oh my god!
When he turns
your hat up, you wear a bowler hat, and you go,
"Yeah,
good day," and you lift it up, and there's just a little. It just screams like a baby's wail.
I gotta get to high school. Bye. He's driving his car all wacky.
Yeah, getting in side saddle.
Yeah.
No door on his car, driving with his legs out the side.
here's what I want to know. Where's the sequel? What should the sequel be about? I mean, come on. We want to see the characters updated. Maybe
Well,
the bully was the victim.
No, it's a trial drama. It's a courtroom drama, and it's the teacher going to prison for fucking statutory sexual assault on a student, and he in the process. No, the hot teacher that made out with the student after he did his monologue twice, and then she came back in and made out with him in front of everybody. That is illegal, and that's like sexual assault. She's a sexual predator.
Yeah, just the part 2 is her trial.
So the courtroom drama is this, and it's a courtroom drama, and this is the sequel is just this entire thing, and it's kind of a serious.
I'm just imagining Roger Ebert watching that scene, being like, "This is outrageous! Stop the movie!"
Listen, now, here's the climax to the. So then
this pisses me off. Yeah.
So then Jerry is like, he fires his lawyer halfway through the movie. Act 2, he fires his lawyer. He's like, I'll just represent myself. And then the lawyer goes, are you sure? Because that's kind of what got us. Movie. He goes, that's what kind of got us into this. Well, no, I just skipped the whole act. But he goes, that's what kind of got us into this mess is you representing yourself. And he goes, I got this. He goes up, Jerry goes up to do his closing statement, pulls a cigarette out, lights that sucker.
Oh boy.
Crushes his closing statement. He is making out with the judge. He is making out with the bailiff. He is making out with his teacher again, the one on trial for making out with him.
That's cool.
He has all the jury line up.
Orgy.
He has all the jury's heads together and he just comes on all their faces.
Yes. And he goes, and the judge is the last one.
Right,
the judge just gets blasted like it's a beautiful misty spritz. Shaking slow-mo, shaking. The judge is shaking his head while all this nut is just going everywhere, misting all over his face. And he goes, oh, court adjourned. Credits roll. Freeze frame on his face covered in this kid's nut.
Well, when Buddy Revell comes in and goes, wait, what about me?
And then he has that's setting up for the trilogy.
Oh, the trilogy. Tight.
That's the trilogy.
That's them raising a baby. As a gay couple.
Yeah, and then it's them raising 3 Asian babies.
Yeah, 3 Asian babies, 1 car.
Is that the new Seinfeld show?
Yeah.
3 Asian babies in a car getting coffee.
This is a 1987 Plymouth Capri. It's just like
no, this is a 1987 rickshaw. I thought they would love this.
This is Justin. Like, he's 9 months old.
Yeah, and he's just narrating it, and it's just footage of babies crying and dying in a car. Shot in a parking lot.
He hates being in his rear-facing car seat.
And he's drinking coffee.
He's extra unhappy right now.
And he's drinking coffee. And he's just like, So David Allen Greer, tell me about being Living Color. That was crazy.
And the car is outside, like you could see in the window behind them.
Yeah,
like street park.
So early. Yep. That's what it is.
Say something about Jim Carrey. That boy was crazy. Kids are dying.
I keep dropping my chopsticks.
Who's telling the story about Jim Carrey?
David Allen Greer.
Oh, yeah. Because of Living Color. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
David Allen Greer thought
I would watch that episode.
Moral of the story. Pretty easy one, I think.
Violence solves everything.
Just don't touch strangers. Especially at the urinals.
He won.
Yeah, he was like talking to him as he was peeing, which is like...
Touch them, then beat the shit out of them. That's what I say.
Bullies ultimately... Yeah. It's a pro-bully movie, ultimately. Because it's having the kid, like, engage with the bully on his level. So, but that's what I'm saying is, like, it's about... He's, like, fighting fascism because bullying is, like, a fascist thing.
Oh, they didn't even mention...
putting might on somebody who he's like, I can't fight you and shit. And it's like, he's like, I don't care.
Hey, aren't you that guy that killed those Chinese babies?
I'm gonna fucking kick your ass, you piece of shit.
Aren't you that
Stop
fucking
bullying
guy
me
that killed them Chinese? Hey man, I'm talking to you, man.
Yeah. Dude, no, the moral of the story is fucking like, if you're gonna give a book report and you're nervous, just fucking put on sunglasses and
well, he was also hypoglycemic, so he was like half passed out. That's why he passed out after he kissed her. He looked pale. That's why he was puking. That's why he was white. And that was the only part where hypoglycemia comes in. Because he skipped lunch. There's all these little details that they kept in the script that made sense that had no point in being in the movie. Like, Why did it matter that he was hypoglycemic? And then he skipped lunch, and
That
we
was
know
the
he
re-
skipped. We know he skipped lunch because he couldn't go to lunch. So then that's why he was lightheaded, and that's why. And then he smoked the cigarette, which made him even more lightheaded. And then he looked like he was dying. He looked like me when I was pissing out that
He was
stone.
he was hypoglycemic because that's how this movie was being diverse back then.
But what did that had nothing to do with his character development, with anything.
Diversity in the 80s was white people having hypoglycemia.
I guess he needed a condition because he went to pay off the football player to beat up the bully, and he's like, "What? I did that for the other guy because the other dude had asthma." And he's like, "Well, I'm hypoglycemic."
Was considered for the role?
It's a serious illness.
Of the lead or of what?
Jerry.
Who?
Kirk Cameron.
Wow.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Think about that.
He's kind of
not
like really a
nerdy
nerd,
enough.
though. He's like more of a Zach Morris kind of kid.
Yeah.
True.
But
True,
I mean,
true,
Zach
true.
Morris honestly would have been a good. That's a good way to take that guy.
Honestly, though, moral of the story: if your parents
What
are
about
out of town
Screech?
and leaving you home
Yeah.
alone, don't go to school. Just call in sick or some shit.
Yeah,
Don't
party
go to
and
school.
shit.
Be cool.
Play video
Yeah,
games.
Ferris Bueller day off. This was reverse Ferris Bueller.
Drink all their booze.
Drink booze. Kids, if any kids are listening, if skip school, drink booze. It's tight.
Listen to Ryan.
Did
He's a
you do
wise
that,
man.
Ryan?
Probably one of the wisest.
Is that
That's
what
what I'm
you
saying.
did in high school?
No, I drank at school. No, I didn't drink in high school.
Just a baby at the bar.
Nerd.
Just a baby at the bar with a bunch of old men.
Oh
You're
yeah,
like,
baby.
"Oh, there's
Just
the
fucking 5 o'clock
baby."
shadow on the baby.
Yeah, glasses, tiger beat hair.
A weird tribal tattoo.
It's doing stand up.
Yeah, completely hammered.
Just stand up. It's doing stand up.
Stumbling out of the
Dude,
out of the child seat at the bar. The kid
Yeah,
seat
the
at
booster.
bar. The booster at the bar.
doing 5 minutes where he was fucking drunk.
You just can't
Let's
get
hear
the
it for our
mic out of
host
the-
tonight, Ryan County.
Just a drunk baby. Oh, all
A
right.
hammered baby would kill.
They're already
Aw.
basically drunk, dude. All you got to do when they start walking, they
That's true.
basically are just drunk.
That's true.
It's in a bottle or a sippy cup.
There's a funny short about that kind
There's
of.
a
It's called
there's
Las
a nipple
Palmas.
on the bottle.
That's good if you like funny babies acting like drunk shit. It's a good short.
What is it?
It's called Las Palmas. It's like a baby
Nah.
being drunk.
And then he gets into a car after work and he's going to drive home. But then he's like, I don't know how to drive. And then he just cooks himself and dies.
Damn.
He calls an
Spoiler
Uber,
alert.
hops in the back. There's three Chinese babies also in the ride share.
And John Travolta gets
Adam
in
is
the
the
car.
Uber Adam is the Uber driver.
John Travolta gets in the car and drives him to heaven.
He drives him to the massage
That's
parlor.
sweet. That's a sweet ending.
He drives him to whatever
Yeah, the
science
one that I
heaven he
love.
goes to. Woohoo.
Rogers and Hammerstein, baby. Classic.
Oh. All right, I'm done.